Hello everyone. In this video we will be discussing about while loop in Python. Before moving on to while loop, let's see what are loops. Loop are programming element that repeat a portion of code a set number of times until a desired process is complete. For example, I want to do three things repeatedly. For example, I want to take an input and maybe a number. Then what I want to do is I want to increment this number by 5, that I want to add this number by 5 and I want to print the number, and this I want to do for 100 numbers. So every time I'll take a number, I'll increment it at 5 and print it. I'll take that other number and I'll increment it by 5 and print the second number. Similarly for third number, similarly for fourth, similarly for fifth, similarly for sixth. For every number I want to repeat the same thing. I want to take an input, I want to increment it by 5 and print. So for this I'll have to write, if I don't have the concept of loop, so what I have to do is I have to write 100 into 3, means 300 lines. But if I have loop, what I'll do is I'll put these 3 lines in a single loop and I execute this 3 lines repeatedly. So this is the concept of loop, why we use loop in programming. Now let's move on to the while loop. It is the syntax of while loop. What we have in the while loop, we'll use the keyword while. While is the keyword for the loop. The name of the loop is while, all in small letters. Then we'll have an expression. This is a Boolean expression, that is, this expression should return either true or false. And this is the loop body. This is the statement or statements. This is a loop block. And the indentation, it should be same. This indentation, the space should be same. If we have 7 statements or 3 or 4 statements, then this indentation should be same for all the statements. This is the syntax of while loop. We have the keyword, we have the Boolean expression which should return either true or false. Then we have a single statement or a block of statements, and this indentation should be same for all the statements within the while loop. This is the syntax of while loop. Let's move on to the flowchart of the loop. This is the flow chart. We enter the while loop, we'll check the condition. If the condition is true, the body of the while loop will be executed. If the condition is false, we can exit the while loop. So this is the flow chart of the while loop. Now let's have some practical example which will explain the while loop. Let's have a demo of while loop. I'll have a loop while and I say the condition is always true. Or I'll put a colon, this is in the syntax, and what I want to do, I want to take an input, increment it with 5 and I want to print a number. So I'll take a number, I'll write it as number and it would be an integer, so I will take an integer as an input. Then I'll increment this number by 5. Then I'll print this number. These 3 things. Okay, let's run this program. I'll write 5, it will increment by 5 and it will give me 10, 85, 854, 859 is the answer, 96, increment by 5, 52. I can write as many numbers I want to write. But this is the problem. Actually, I have written the condition as true. If this condition is always true, there won't be an end to the while loop. It would be an indefinite loop. So I have to specify something that will make this condition as false. For example, suppose I want to execute this loop 5 times. So what I'll do is I'll put a counter. Maybe it is 0, and till my counter becomes 5, counter is less than 5, till my counter is less than 5, till then I can execute my loop, and here I will count how many times the loop is executing. Okay, so I'll just run it. So I'll have number 52, 45, 56, 58. I'll put some numbers, random numbers. So after 5 iterations, the loop is stopped. So for executing a while loop, you require three main things. The first thing is the initialization of the counter. You can call it as a control variable because it controls the loop. Okay. Second is the condition which has to become false at some point of time. Third is the incrementing or decrementing the control variable. You require three things: the control variable, incrementing and decrementing of the control variable, and a condition which has to be false at some point of time. So this is the slight overview of while loop. Now what will be the output of this code? Let's see. So the output of this code is iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3, and while loop terminated. This will be the output of this code. Now how many times this loop will execute? The answer to this question is 0, because the first initialization of I, that is I is equal to 5 is there. I is initialized to 5, but this condition, it is not satisfied. Here it is written I is greater than 8, but I is equal to 5. So I is not greater than 8, it is less than 8. So this portion of the loop will never execute. So the answer for this question is 0. Thank you.